Eu quero lutar no UFC Rio. Eu que pedi essa luta.
So he's clearly very frustrated, and I get it. It's not his fault.
He may have been talking about Benoit Saint Denis, who specifically said he would fill in for that fight.
We're supposed to be having some mud wrestling going.
The UFC star Charles Oliveira spares no words, calling out fighters who avoid challenges, while Rampage Jackson teases a brand new reality show amidst Raj's arrest. Meanwhile, MMA Guru pointed out that the focus had been on concerns over Charles Oliveira making a quick return, and no one really considered the possibility of Rafael Fiziev pulling out. He called it a huge missed opportunity for Fiziev and added that the big question now is who will step up to face Oliveira on October 11th.
We were all worried about Charles Oliveira here. Very, very worried about Charles Oliveira, and Fiziev's the one who's pulled out here. If you were asking me who's going to pull out of this fight, I'd say Oliveira because he got KO'd a couple of fucking weeks ago. But Rafael Fiziev is the one who's pulled out of this fight. I think it's a huge missed opportunity for him. But we now have to wonder who's going to step in and fight Charles Oliveira on the 11th of October. You know Fiziev wanted to take this fight. You know he wouldn't have stepped out if it wasn't a bad injury, because you've got the best opportunity you can get to beat an Oliveira. You know, you get him on momentum, you get him on a full training camp, you get him off of time off and recovered and healthy. It's going to be a lot trickier. But you get this version of Oliveira, that's the time to beat him. So you know Fiziev must have been real injured. My little doppelganger himself.
Whereas Charles Oliveira addressed the situation surrounding UFC Rio, confirming that his fight on the card is officially off. He fired back at the fighters, claiming they're willing to face him, calling them out as liars. Oliveira criticized the trend of fighters using his name for social media clout, revealing that when the UFC actually reaches out, none of them are willing to step up and accept the fight.
Todo mundo já sabe que meu luta do UFC Rio caiu. Só que olha só, não cai nesse papinho desses caras que estão aí. Ah, eu vim, aquilo, porque o UFC tá batendo lá e todos eles falam, ah, não há tempo pra bater o peso, ah, não dá pra mim, então esse negocinho de ficar postando na internet pra ganhar hype, esquece porque tá ficando feio. Vi um aí colocando não sei o que, o outro falando não sei o que, só que na hora que o UFC liga, o que vocês falam?
Furthermore, Charles revealed that while several fighters publicly stated they were willing to step in at UFC Rio after his original opponent was injured, the reality was very different behind the scenes. Oliveira revealed that when the UFC actually reached out with the opportunity, those same fighters declined. He bashed the behavior, saying it was frustrating to see fighters posture for attention, only to turn the fight down when it mattered.
Acho que a mão, então para com esse bagulho que é feio. Eu quero lutar no UFC Rio, eu que pedi essa luta, meu adversário machucou, aí mais uns 10 apareceu aí falando que ia lutar, aí até agora, sempre quando o UFC liga, pô, vamos lutar? Não, não dá, então para com esse bagulho porque tá feio, quer ganhar fama, faz outro bagulho, não fica com ideinha colocando que quer lutar comigo sendo que é mentira, beleza?
In support, Michael Bisping stated that Charles Oliveira is clearly very frustrated and that it is completely understandable. He emphasized that none of this is Oliveira's fault, noting that the former champion has obviously been training hard and remains one of the biggest names in the sport. Bisping added that with Rafael Fiziev pulling out, it now seems the fight is officially off.
So he's clearly very frustrated, and I get it. It's not his fault. He's obviously been training very hard. He's a Brazilian. He represents his country on the world stage. He's one of the biggest names in all the sport. He's had a hell of a career. He's a former champion. He's got so many records. He's fighting in Rio de Janeiro against Rafael Fiziev, which was a great matchup, a very, very exciting matchup. Fiziev gets injured, okay, undisclosed injury. I don't know what that is right now. And now it looks like the fight's off. So of course he's pissed off, right? All that hard work could be for nothing. Of course, there's no problem finding a spot for Charles Oliveira to fight. He truly is a worldwide phenomenon. They can put him on anywhere. Any fight card, next pay-per-view, whatever you want to do it. Everyone's happy to see Charles Oliveira on a card.
Additionally, the Weasel stated that Charles Oliveira in his video may have been referring to Benoit Saint Denis, who had previously said that if Rafael Fiziev pulled out, he would step in. Now that Fiziev is withdrawn, Saint Denis has completely backtracked in that stance, claiming that Oliveira deserves the respect of having opponents who come in fully prepared.
He may have been talking about Benoit Saint Denis, who specifically said he would fill in for that fight. He said if Charles or Fiziev pull out, he will be ready to fill in. Well, Fiziev pulled out, and now BSD has backtracked on that completely. He claims that Charles deserves a full camp of respect. Whatever that means, dude, he's one of the top contenders. Why would you turn that down? And if he is who Charles was speaking of, that means BSD was offered the fight, according to Charles.
However, to everyone's surprise, Mateusz Gamrot stepped forward as the first fighter willing to take on Charles Oliveira at UFC Rio. Replying to Charles, Gamrot made it clear that he was not backing down from the challenge and delivered a bold message. He went on Twitter and posted, "Respect, but I told UFC straight, I want to face you in your own house. This will be a true masterclass on the ground, and I'm ready to prove it." Furthermore, Gamrot accused Oliveira of backing out, claiming the former champion was worried about his style despite having a full training camp. Gamrot stated, "I hear you're worried about my style even though you had a full training camp. I had none and still I'm ready to step into the cage. 2 weeks left to prepare, and I'm ready and right here. No excuses, let's do this." However, Michael Bisping added that Mateusz Gamrot is not an easy fight for anyone, emphasizing that fact while calling the situation crazy. He called that Charles Oliveira was finally getting a chance to erase his last loss and maximize his career, but noted that time is not on Oliveira's side. Bisping pointed out that Oliveira is not just nearing the end of his career, but also has accumulated a tremendous number of fights, making every opportunity all the more critical.
Mateusz Gamrot is not an easy fight for anybody. That's just a fact, okay? But this is crazy because Charles Oliveira is talking all that shit, and rightly so. As I said, he's pissed off because he's done a whole training camp. He thought he's going to headline UFC Rio. And more importantly, he gets to eradicate the loss to Ilia Topuria. He gets to maximize on his career. And when you look at Charles Oliveira, the man's 35 years old, okay? So he's not just at the end of his career yet. I mean, let's be honest, the man could fight for another 3-4 years. But he's had a tremendous...
Bisping highlighted that after this call out from Gamrot, he cannot imagine Oliveira turning it down. He stated that whenever Charles sees these tweets, both Oliveira and the UFC would be interested in making the fight happen.
You know, I mean, you go out there, you do a full training camp, it's 2 weeks away, and then the fight gets pulled from underneath your feet through no fault of your own, okay? But I can't imagine Charles Oliveira will turn this down. Remember, these are tweets on Sunday from Mateusz Gamrot. I'm sure that when Charles Oliveira gets wind of this, I'm sure the UFC would like to make this match up. And when we look at the UFC Fight Night card there...
But while the fight world focuses on Oliveira's next opponent, the MMA community has been buzzing over a very different story: Raja Jackson's recent run-in with the law. Just this past week, Raja Jackson was finally arrested for his assault on wrestler Psycho Stu. A viral video captured the moment, showing Jackson in handcuffs as he was escorted away by police. However, MMA Guru reported that Raja Jackson was held on a $50,000 bond in which he only had to pay $5,000 before being released. Jackson was charged with just one felony, a decision that drew sharp criticism from Guru. He bashed the authorities, claiming they were not truly cracking down on criminals, but instead playing games and treating the system like a fishing expedition.
Which he has paid 5,000 of, and he's now out. They're just catch and releasing criminal fucking catfish at this point. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Okay, just quick catch and release, like we're fishing, like we're actually managing fish here, okay? That's what I hear when I hear catch and release. What's the fucking point of catching him then? 50,000 bond, he's already paid it, he's out. That's a heads up for everyone. The incident captured on video has raised concerns about the security at independent wrestling events. No. This is, and the whole thing has been worded very interestingly, by the way. I'm going to get to an ESPN article about this.
Adding to that, Rampage Jackson revealed that Raja Jackson is back home and doing okay, though he admitted on stream that Raja messed up big time. He emphasized that Raja still has lessons to learn, and since he doesn't always listen, Rampage said all he can do at this point is be a dad and guide him the best he can.
How's Rob? He's doing okay. He's doing okay. You all right? He at home now. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, he fucked up though. He fucked up. He got to learn his lesson. Hey, it is what it is. All I can do is be a dad. You know what I'm saying? He don't listen to me. At the end of the day, he can't say that I didn't do what I was supposed to do as a dad.
In addition, the weight concept stated that he does not envy the position Rampage Jackson is in right now, because there's very little Rampage can say. He noted that even when the issue first arose, Rampage's response lacked accountability and responsibility. According to the weight concept, Rampage walked back his statements, saying that both Theo and Raja messed up, but he also offered a lot of excuses.
I don't necessarily envy the spot Rampage Jackson is in right now, because there's not much he can really say. I did not like Rampage's response when this first hit the fan to immediately point the finger at Psycho Stu and blame and point and this and that and call it a work. It was all bad. No responsibility accepted whatsoever. And then he kind of walked that back and, you know, he's fucked up, my son fucked up, all this. But a lot of the excuses and the placing the blame I did not like. But again, it is his son, and it is a tough spot to be in. And maybe Rampage, you know, I don't want to get into their personal stuff, but maybe the way he talks to his son needs to change now. As it was clear, Raja was like trying to show how tough he was. I don't know if that was to the audience or to his dad, but it was super weird.
Though Raja's situation made headlines, his father Rampage Jackson isn't letting the drama slow him down. Amidst the arrest and release of Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson launched a rather unconventional project, hosting a quirky mud wrestling and barbecue show. The unexpected venture has caught fans' attention, showing a lighter and more entertaining side of the MMA star outside the cage.
I'm supposed to be having some mud wrestling going. I'm
wrestling Rampage, you ready?
Hell no. I need to go see what's up with this mud. What's up with the mud?
Hey, help yourselves, guys.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't see no mud. I seen a bunch of hussies showed up. But how in the f they gonna mud wrestle without the mud? Don't let me down. What you talking about? Don't let you down. Don't let me down. We was told we were gonna have mud and hussies. Don't let me down. Or wrestle, yeah. If we don't get the mud, we had to run somebody to the store real fast to get some oil.
While off-cage drama keeps fans talking, fighters themselves are also reacting to the wildest moments in MMA. Robert Whittaker admitted at first that he thought the UFC White House card was nothing more than tough. He said he never expected it to actually become a reality and described the whole situation as wild.
Oh, mate, what can I say? It's a crazy turn of events. Okay, for one, I thought this whole White House UFC event was, you know, just talk to begin with. I thought it was just like, I thought it was just something exciting to throw out there for people to talk about. I didn't think that it would actually even like it'd have any legs or that it would eventuate. Crazy that it might actually, not only will it have legs, but they look to be actually creating a card for it. Yeah. This is wild.
On the other hand, Chael Sonnen said that although Conor McGregor is still the biggest star in the sport today, he doesn't see McGregor headlining the UFC White House card.
The story that Conor McGregor is being talked to headline the White House card, I don't buy it. I can't buy it. Why are we would be turning to Conor McGregor? And the answer is also out there, because he is the sport's biggest star. That is true. So is that what you need? If you've got the open checkbook and you've got the magic wand, without saying names, do you say, I'm going to put as my main event the sport's biggest star? Is that your answer? Doesn't matter who he's fighting. What if it's a championship match? You have an open checkbook and you have a magic wand and you don't use any names, but you're going to put the championship on. Would you say heavyweight? Would you say women's 135?
On another note, Chael Sonnen pointed out that Ilia Topuria made headlines this past week, but none of them had anything to do with divisional rankings, a potential opponent, or even speculation about a fight date or location. Instead, Sonnen highlighted that the attention surrounding Topuria came from outside the usual fight-related narratives.
What's the biggest fight there is? What ingredients need to go into the biggest fight there is? Like if you had an open checkbook or you had the magic wand, and I'm not asking you to put two people together. I'm not asking you to bring in the biggest draw in the business, Chael Sonnen, and put me opposite somebody. I'm asking, aside from the names, what would you need to put the biggest fight in? You want to know where this is coming from? The story that Conor McGregor is being talked to headline the White House card, I don't buy it. I can't buy it.
Similarly, the Weasel also voiced concern over the current state of the division, saying that what was once the premier weight class has now turned into more of a part-time division. He highlighted the noticeable drop in activity, stressing that a division once considered golden has now given way to fighters competing less frequently, leaving a void in consistency and momentum.
What has happened to this division, and where are all the fighters? From the champion Ilia Topuria to pretty much every top contender, it's been a ghost town. This used to be the UFC's premier division. There has been a massive shift in the activity of this weight class. It was the golden division and now it's part-time. Well, we do have one answer as to why Ilia Topuria is not fighting, and perhaps with Dan Hooker as well, who's had multiple hand injuries this year. There has never been an easier time to get a title shot than in the current lightweight division. These guys just have to fight somebody. If Arman, Gaethje, or Paddy just get another win, they could leapfrog everybody to be the next in line, but they're just not doing that.
He added that Ilia Topuria sitting out thrashed a chain reaction, with other fighters in the division also choosing to remain inactive while waiting on them. He noted that the only exception has been Arman Tsarukyan, who has been keeping busy with side quests. The Weasel added that Arman has been waiting for the UFC to match him with a top contender, but at this stage, it might be better for him to take any opponent, ranked or not, just to stay active.
And Ilia sitting out is going to cause a chain effect for other fighters to sit out as well, because all of them are waiting on Ilia, except Arman, apparently. So Arman's the #1 contender, and he's been focused on completing all of his side quests and waiting on an opponent from the UFC, but at the same time, it'd be great if he just takes any fight at this point, because this whole waiting out game is not to the best interest for the fans, as well as for their own careers. Most of these guys are in their prime. Time is of the essence, and they need to be scheduling as many fights as they can, because as everybody's in the waiting room, the first one to step up against anybody is already in a beneficial position. I believe if Arman at this point takes a Gamrot fight or a Dariush fight even, it would put him ahead of the pack, and because Ilia is going to fight next year, they have the time to do it.
Finally, Chael Sonnen stated that the future of the division is uncertain, and at the same time, he pointed out that if Islam Makhachev were to move back down to face Ilia Topuria, it would not be a massive fight. Sonnen added that such a matchup is still very far from becoming a reality in the current time frame.
Now give me March, April, May to recover. I'll prove that I'll do it. I'll do a lesser fight against a lesser opponent. I'll work my way up, considering I'm not champion. I'll prove that I'm the #1 contender, and that'll be my buy-in. I want to show you. We've also got a fight that's sitting out there and looming, and it's not as big as you guys think. But is it bigger than Conor versus anybody? And that fight that I'm speaking about, which presumably will still be an option next year.
With fighters stepping up, divisions shifting, and unexpected off-cage drama making headlines, the MMA world remains as unpredictable as ever. From Charles Oliveira calling out cowards to Rampage Jackson showing fans a lighter, more unconventional side, the sport continues to mix high-stakes competition with human stories that keep fans talking. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss a beat, and we'll see you in the next video with more exciting updates.